So this is actually from an internal network pen test, but there's a lot of application elements to it. The tester found that ARP cache poisoning was possible, which is not good, but is fairly common on internal networks. See some JSON packets going by. And the JSON packet has a credit card number and a CVV code. Again, not good, but not all that uncommon, probably not even a violation of compliance. But at the end of the message, he sees a URL. We'll call it stupid.com. Now, because it really fits this. Stupid.com wasn't our client, though. It was their outsourced IVR provider. For those of you not familiar with it, IVR is the system that allows you to push the touch tone buttons on the phone and interact with a menu. So the tester requested the URL, plays it. Turns out that it's a full recording of the conversation, including when the customer had typed in their credit card number over the phone using the touchtone keys. But what was most interesting was that no authentication at all was required to get this from the website.
This is over the internet.
Right, this is over the internet. No authentication was required. It was a fairly predictable URL. It was very easy to harvest thousands of other calls. But it wasn't just our clients' calls that were out on this website. It was all of Stupid.com's clients. Had all of their recordings, all on the site. And this wasn't just some unusually named website. This was their actually www.stupid.com. Their primary website was hosting unauthenticated, unencrypted recordings from all their clients. Amazing.
Now, we've reached the portion of the presentation now reserved for the very stupid. You see, some findings have so distinguished themselves that they deserve to be singled out for their excellence in the field of stupidity. And this one finding, if you see us giving this presentation again, we rotate through all the findings. This is the one finding that has been in every one of the renditions that we've done, because it is yet to be surpassed in terms of the stupidest finding we have ever found.
This is my favorite finding. I was late on a Friday night. I was just about done with this application pen test. One of the last pages that I was testing was coupon redemption. It was an e-commerce website. So I typed in some garbage characters for the coupon code, and I see that there's a hidden field. It has an unusual name. Free purchase, and the value is no. I'm like, okay, surely this doesn't do what it sounds like. But obviously I'm going to test it. So I changed the free purchase equals no to yes. I submit it. I'm thinking, okay, this is, it's either going to get an error message or more likely it'll just completely ignore it. But the response I get is, Mr. Byrne, thank you for your purchase. It will ship in so many business days. So I thought, wow, I just stole from our client. So I get the order number. I start looking around trying to cancel it. I realize there is no way of canceling this order online. Well, I better get a hold of the client, but it's late. So I give Charles a call and see how he wants to handle it.
So I was fairly sure we were actually going to have a problem here. Anytime we do a test in production, we always make sure that there's nothing that can't be backed out of. And from previous experience, whenever there was not an order cancellation function on a website, all we had to do was give them the credit card number we ordered with, and everything would be made right. But in this case, David hadn't given a credit card number, so we had a problem. So come Monday, I got on the phone with the client and explained the situation. And they logged into their system, and they could see the order, and it was going to ship, and but they couldn't cancel it, because the cancellation function of their order processing actually required a credit card number to cancel the order. It's actually a security protection, strangely enough. So anyway, the client was actually very thrilled. This was a very large client, Fortune 200, and they were just pleased that no one had actually exploited this. They had a lot more expensive things on their website than what David had ordered, and they were relatively just pleased to eliminate the vulnerability. And they told me to relay the message to David that he could enjoy his free swag, and that they were more than happy to give him that to find this vulnerability.
Fortunately, I didn't use a real address when I made the order. It was just 123 Main Street doesn't exist. Have no idea what happened to the blanket that I stole. So the lesson, I guess, is that don't put free purchase equals no as an option in your application. And when you're doing pen tests, use a real address if you want to get the loot.
So in conclusion, look, this is an application security conference. I think I'm preaching to the choir here when I say, application security is important, but I'm going to say it anyway. Application security is important. 90% of credit card breaches on e-commerce applications due to, guess what, application security flaws. And application security isn't a percentage game. You're not 90% more secure if you get 9 of 10 critical vulnerabilities out of your application. It just takes one compromise flaw to compromise an application. And once an application is compromised, the attacker doesn't get bonus points because there's 2 SQL injections. It's sort of, it's over at that point. And also, keep in mind, vulnerabilities can come from more than one source. A lot of the vulnerabilities we discussed today, they came in because a company acquired another company, brought in an application. They weren't familiar with the logic and maybe tried to change it. So be aware that, there's a large percentage of these flaws that actually come in due to acquisitions. So that's something that increasingly one of our other talks actually focuses on, the anatomy of a logic flaw. Well, thank you. And does anyone have any questions? I've heard rumors of beer later, so.
Thank you very much.